This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
It's Oh Behave with Arden Moore, the show that teaches you how to have harmony in the household with your pets. Join Arden as she travels coast to coast to help millions better understand why cats and dogs do what they do. Get the latest scoop on famous faces, their perfectly pampered pets, and who's walking who in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails, garner great pet tips, and have a doggone fur-flying fun time. So get ready for the pause and applause as we unleash your Oh Behave host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Inspirational muses come in all forms. And for our special guest today, the life changer was a dog named Cooper. As you will discover, our guest has quite a tale to tell. Please welcome to the show the founder of Get Joy, Tom Arrix. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here. It's a real treat. Thank you.
All right, we got to take this break. So you all know the drill. Let's just sit and stay, and we'll be right back.
Time for a pause. 4 furry ones, actually. Sit and stay. Oh Behave will be right back.
Kitty Poo Club reinvented the litter box. No more scrubbing that stinky plastic tray. Or worrying, oh my God, do my guests smell that? No cleaning, no scrubbing, no more stink. You are going to love it. Your cats are going to love it. Go to kittypooclub.com, and when you order, save 30% on your first auto ship. Visit kittypooclub.com, use code MEOW30 at checkout, and join the club, the Kitty Poo Club.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com. Oh Behave is back with more tail-wagging ways to achieve harmony in the household with your pets. Now back to your fetching host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome back to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Our special guest today is Tom Arrix. I mean, there's all kinds of names for companies, Tom, and I keep saying Get Joy, your company's name, and nobody should have a sourpuss face on them, right?
No, I mean, it's what we love the most about the name, and it all the credit goes to my wife, Kathy. So when we were thinking about naming the company, we originally called it Joy, but we kind of rejiggered it to Get Joy, mostly because the word joy means something so unique to each individual.
Right.
And it's really powerful. It's really powerful to have this notion of Get Joy, because it's a reminder for everybody that we introduce to the brand that it's way bigger than themselves, way bigger than their household. It is a true movement, and it's a real opportunity to find and almost reward the joy that these companions have and the role they play in our lives.
Think about it. You did so much in only 2 words, and each one is only 3 letters. Do you know how hard that is to achieve?
We may have gotten a little bit lucky on that, but we love the simplicity. Everything we do as a company, and everything we do in terms of creating our products and the way we think about dog wellness is all about simplicity and not bringing complications and bringing unnecessary confusions into the conversation. We love the name. We love our colors. We love the use of certain shapes like round and fresh green. And we use VW bands as ways to bring a smile to people's faces at point of sale. So everything we do seems to have really interconnected, and it's really starting to resonate with people. It's really starting to bring more and more smiles to people's faces. That's why we're here. That's ultimately why the company exists. It's grounded in purpose. It's grounded in something way bigger than Tom Arrix, way bigger than any employee. And we're putting our stake in the ground to create this whole notion once and for all around dog wellness, which is no one's ever tackled. And we are.
Well, I want to take a step back in time because people want to know who you are and who was your inspiration. And this is the time I really would love you to do a tribute to your late great dog, Cooper, because I know what it's like. My heart dog is right on the couch behind me, pet safety dog Kona. And I'm telling you, dogs sure make us better humans. What's the tale of Cooper?
Yeah, the tale of Cooper, unfortunately, it's the tale of a lot of dogs in our lives. Cooper in 2018 was diagnosed with lymphoma. And I'll never forget our dogs, Eddie and Cooper at the time, they sleep in our room on the floor. They're a big part of our lives. And I remember he was kind of lip smacking. And it was a sound that I had never heard from him. And it was just an odd, it was almost like and so we went and got him diagnosed at Cornell. He came back, he had lymphoma. And we quickly tried to think about how we could get him healthy again. And we talked to a number of oncologists, and one oncologist in particular, Dr. Kendra Pope, who's a holistic oncologist, integrated medicine, really started to have me better understand the real importance around nutrition. And we spent about an hour in her office in Red Bank, New Jersey. And she talked a lot about Cooper and asked a lot of questions about how we feed him and is he active, things like that. And she kind of went back to the feeding question. She said, so how does Cooper, what do you feed Cooper? And at the time, I thought we were feeding him really wonderful food, but we weren't. We were feeding him a high-end kibble. But I didn't understand the dynamic and the power of nutrition at that stage of my life, unfortunately. And she very quickly squared this conversation. She said, Tom, you're just feeding him the best of the crap. And it really hit me, but it also motivated the heck out of me because she said, moving forward, we're going to get him a fresh meal prescription so he can use nutrition as the real driver to reinvigorate his health and wellness. And she said, from this moment forward, whatever you eat at home, feed it to Cooper until you get the prescription, and let food be the medicine. Let food be the driver of his return to health.
What kind of dog was Cooper, and what about Eddie?
Eddie and Cooper, golden retrievers. Cooper was one of the loveliest dogs we've ever had. He was the great protector of the house. So if you went on walks, he wasn't always the best walking dog, but
okay,
he was so wonderful, and he played such an important role in our lives. We got him when our kids were really small. We'd go up to Vermont skiing, he would come, and wherever we went, Cooper was with us. And he played such a powerful role. And I didn't quite understand the role dogs played. And I've been a dog lover and animal lover my entire life. But it wasn't until this window when he got sick that it really landed of the importance that our dog Cooper played in my life, in my family's life, and the 70 plus million households out there in the United States that have dogs. It's unbelievable the role that these animals play in our lives.
It's the power of the paw. And I can tell you, they really are. We're just scratching the surface of what they do for us. And we need to know more about what we can do for them. Would you agree?
I totally agree. It is. I'm so excited because I think we're at a moment, early stages as a society, where talking about our companions, our animals, our loved ones is not only cathartic, it's inspirational, it's motivating for people. You start to learn a ton about the importance they play in their roles. You think about veterans who have PTSD. These animals are literally helping them stay alive. I say this all the time. I think they're the great teachers of love and compassion. I really do. I think they teach us as people how to be better humans and how to take care of one another and how to love each other more. I think that is super early stage. And I think we as people are learning more and more about their pure power.
I have to agree. Hey, we're speaking with Tom Arrix. He is the founder of Get Joy. We're going to dive into what that company is all about after we take this break. But, strap yourselves in, folks. Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and look at your dog in a new and better way. So we'll be right back after we take this break.
Time for a walk on the red carpet, of course. All Behave will be back in a flash right after these messages.
Kitty Poo Club reinvented the litter box. No more scrubbing that stinky plastic tray or worrying, oh my God, do my guests smell that? Kitty Poo Club has solved the stink. And now the worst part of cat ownership is hassle-free. No cleaning, no scrubbing, no more stink. And the best thing is, you don't have to buy some oversized contraption that will break down. Kitty Poo Club litter boxes are manufactured to make your life easier. You have one cat? Easy peasy. A small mountain lion? No problem. You are going to love it. Your cats are going to love it. Believe me, there are good reasons why we sold over 3 million boxes. Go to kittypooclub.com, read the amazing reviews, and when you order, save 30% on your first auto ship. Visit kittypooclub.com, use code MEOW30 at checkout, and join the club, the Kitty Poo Club.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms. And our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets.
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, this is Steve Wozniak, and I would love to invite you to listen to the O Behave Show by Arden Moore on Pet Life Radio.
We're back from the lot. Just checked the paper and we had a record showing at the box. The letterbox, that is. Now back to Oh Behave. Here's Arden.
Welcome back, everyone. This is your host, Arden Moore. I'm speaking with Tom Arrix, and he is the founder of Get Joy. And it's a company I want you all to check out after the show. And the website is easy, getjoyfood.com. Is that correct?
That is right. That is right. Yes, it is.
So at least it wasn't Almond Joy. I would have gotten confused, but Get Joy is pretty good.
Almond Joys are pretty good too.
Yeah, so I'm just really curious. Can I say this as a cat? What were you doing as a business? What was your occupation before you got into Get Joy, inspired by your late great dog Cooper? I'm just trying to think of some ideas of what you might have done. What were you doing?
I never thought in 15 lifetimes that I ever would be in pet. I spent an entire career in media, digital technology. I was in the television business with Turner Broadcasting, moved into the digital business with CBS Sportsline, that has later evolved into CBSSports.com. I spent a very short stint with Univision, where I was on their digital side. And then for 7 years, I was with Facebook in the early days of Facebook.
Wow.
And it was at that point in my career that I really understood the power of people, the power of teamwork, the sense of purpose of building. And I left Facebook in 2013, and I didn't quite fall in love with what I did for the subsequent years. I was advising companies, and I really wanted to get back to creating and building. And when Cooper got sick, it really was this intersection of my passion and love to this opportunity to create something purpose-driven and high impact. So I had the time, I had the energy, and I had the experience, because I was on Facebook's other side, to build a direct-to-consumer experience that was really focused on driving overall health and wellness for dogs everywhere.
Well, on your site, getjoyfood.com, you say that there are 3 wellness pillars. You speak of a dog's health,
right?
The nutrition you're talking about, number 1, genetics, and environment. What do you mean by all that? The 3 pillars. Right.
So that was through Kendra Pope that really helped me understand what all those pillars really meant. So for an animal, you have the genetics. So that's obviously a complicated, super important element. You have an environment that you can't really control. It can be as broad as things that go on people's lawns, water that the animals drink, and pollution, air pollution, things like that. And the nutrition piece. And she said that you really can't control the genetic piece, because it's a deeper conversation. The environment is really difficult as well, because there's so many factors involved. But if you wanted to control one thing in a dog's kind of path to health and wellness, you can control nutrition. And that's where we put the stake in the ground. We wanted to control the quality of the fuel that goes in these awesome animals. So what they would intake would be as powerful and as kind of energy driving as humanly possible. And that's something that people are starting to wake up to. People are starting to understand that that is a piece, even in our lives as people. You know, we can control whether we eat processed foods or not. We can control whether we eat farm to table or not. And I think that is really gaining a ton of momentum in a lot of households, in a lot of towns, a lot of states across the country. And we're seeing more and more people who care about living a healthy, best life than ever before. And now we're seeing the lines blurred between humans and their dogs. So the humanization of those pets is a real thing. And I think people are really understanding the power of nutrition, the power of health and wellness, the power of things like sleep, taking care of yourself. And it is just going one step further, which is amazing to see. And it's the right thing to do.
Your focus is on nutrition, but you also have a team of pretty stellar veterinarians that are available to help out people. You have this free on-demand veterinary access. Tell us about that with the Get Joy program.
So we started the company with nutrition. That was kind of, how we got things rolling. As we thought long and hard about where we could be in the future and the role we could play in people's lives, we broadened our lens and we saw dog wellness as a way bigger opportunity. While nutrition is fantastic, we want, nutrition isn't the only kind of element of wellness. So we're trying to create this whole notion where people can come to our brand and build a real trusting relationship and have experiences like wellness services. And we have a televet service. It's 24/7. I used it just a few weeks ago. I was away with my dog. He gets hot spots. He gets big, heavy, big, thick fur.
Is this
and
Eddie?
This is Eddie. And I had a text conversation because he was kind of scratching and I've seen it before. And she's like, it's okay. As long as you don't see any bubbling, but it gave me peace of mind. And it had nothing to do with nutrition, but it gave me comfort that there's a brand that is really thinking about the whole well-being of the animal and not just the transaction or the expense of selling a product.
As you know, Tom, there was a ton of people that got dogs and other pets during COVID. The pace of the number of graduates from veterinary school is not on the same scale. And veterinary telehealth is really taking off because there may be times, like in the case of you and Eddie, you just needed to talk to a veterinarian. You didn't need to book an appointment. You didn't need to drive to the clinic. I'm just saying, it sounds like you're on to something here.
Yeah. I think we're just scratching the surface, quite frankly. And so televet, the 24/7 televet for Get Joy Health is really, really exciting for a lot of our customers. We're trying to educate so they understand that it's there. So it's usually not the first thing that they think about. And we're expanding this whole notion of how the brand can play in the lives of our customers. We're going to be rolling out a supplement line in the fall so we can, think about how that complements nutrition. If an animal has a coat issue, we think we can help our customers solve a lot of these things that do bubble up on occasion. We think about pet insurance. The numbers in the United States are so low by comparison to Europe. I think the European numbers are roughly about 50% of pet owners have pet insurance. We're so far away from that as a country. It's shocking.
It is a difference. It is. I've known a lot about pet insurance through the years, and there's a very small percentage, like 5% or something, of people. Others go with care credit or other options, but it's a mindset. In Europe, it's just accepted and embraced, but that's a tough challenge for you in the United States, Tom.
Yeah, I think so too. But again, it's like the way we think about nutrition is very similar to how we think about pet insurance and some of these ancillary kind of hub and spoke extensions of the brand. You just have to start. And it's like, start somewhere. And we encourage every customer, everyone we engage with and connect with, is just take a step forward in your fresh journey. If you can't afford to have everything in your pantry or everything in your freezer fresh meal driven, then that's okay. Just like, what can you do to better the life just a little bit for your animal? And the same with pet insurance. And Like if we can just get a few people to understand that this is a really important tool, just like it is for themselves. If we had 5% of the American public that only had insurance and 95% didn't, we'd be in a terrible situation.
Well, what I like on the site getjoyfood.com, Tom, is you have these paw print blogs post, and one of them was some tips for choosing healthy dog food. You have a lineup of veterinarians that people can. I mean, you orchestrated a lot. Do you think your digital communication background is helping you? You're almost like a ringleader for Get Joy.
Ringleader or Pied Piper, something of the sort.
Yeah.
Right? The way I think about this almost on a 24/7 basis is that we're trying to build community. We're trying to build an environment, a community that there's sharing of ideas, that there's education pieces that people can get smarter or share on their own. And I think that's how communities really thrive. I think when communities are open and connected, and it's not about one particular brand, and maybe Get Joy is really just the halo of this community. We want people to learn from one another. We ultimately want people to become better pet parents because of what they're learning. And I became a way better pet parent because of a situation with my awesome dog Cooper. It doesn't take much. It just takes community, it takes sharing, and it takes kind of a simple approach, and very much of, put the community first and let things take care of themselves. And that's usually how great communities thrive.
So you're in a tough market. I mean, pets is multi-billion dollars, and especially the food. So how would you in an elevator ride say how different Get Joy is from some other brands, and what makes you stand out like a Great Dane and a pack of Chihuahuas?
I love that. We are dog wellness. We are fundamentally taking a different road than everybody else. While we have competitive nutritional products, the way we think about our environment in the United States is that we are collaborating, locking arms with people, and we're building a community that is anchored and focused on dog wellness. And just about the entire rest of our competitive set isn't. So it's a big difference. We anticipate to be around for many, many, many years. I think there's lots that want to participate and not be around for many, many years.
You mentioned that, you're going to launch some supplements in the fall. So you are expanding and improving. You seem to be reaching the ears and the knowledge brain of some very key veterinarians. So you are an orchestrating conductor. I do believe that. You need a village, don't you? You talk about having a dog wellness community, but you're tapping people that help you with this mission.
No question. The two people, we have a number of veterinarians who are involved in our company now as advisors. The two people who I met in 2018 are two of my biggest confidants, Dr. Lindsay Thalheim and Dr. Kendra Pope. They are so thoughtful and so committed to wellness. One is an oncologist at Cornell, one is a holistic integrated veterinarian, but they believe something way bigger than what they practice on a daily basis. They see the power of nutrition as the centerpiece to driving health and wellness for the long haul. Marnan Foreman, another Cornell veterinarian, is on our advisory board. Dr. Renee Alsaroff, a holistic oncologist in New Jersey, is on our board. They're some of the most fantastic people they're so selfless in what they're trying to do and up-level the conversation. It's awesome. It is. I never thought in a million years we'd have so many people kind of galvanizing around our mission. And I really think it's just the early stages too. I really do. I think that, we're in conversations with a number of people on the human side. So human nutrition and human wellness and mental wellness. So this is a way bigger conversation for the household. And, yes, it's about our pets and all the great things we can do to make them as healthy as possible. But I think we can blur the lines across human and pets and make households fundamentally healthier, happier places because of our approach.
So, all right, we're going to crystal ball. Where do you see dogs and their role in the next 5 years, 10 years? Because we're hopefully still going to be around, Tom, you and me.
Right.
So,
yep.
I mean, remember we used to call them its and the pound and, curs and dogs belonged in the backyard. We've lived through all those evolutions to they're on our bed. they're on a doggy vacation with us. So where do you see the next 5-10 years for dogs if groups like you with Get Joy develop this wellness community?
I think in 5 years, short of dogs talking, that would be the ultimate dream case.
Well, they do talk. We just don't listen.
We don't listen. That's right. We're typical humans. We don't listen to them, or we're not getting the signals. But in 5 years, I think dog wellness, pet wellness will have such a powerful place and mind space in our society, in our communities. Everything we do will have these amazing animals front and center. I really believe that. Where we go on vacations, I think hotels and resorts and rentals and beaches and mountain hikes and skiing and you name it. I think travel is going to fundamentally change even more than it has today. I think dogs are going to be treated no differently than any of us. I think there's going to be a place for these animals in every walk of life. And you can see it. You can see the need. You can see the passion that people have around these animals already. And I think it's going to be at scale. This is not just a few outliers that want to bring their dog on their vacations or a dog into a hotel or whatever, or dog into a restaurant. This is going to be at scale. I think this is going to be in 5 years, a very different landscape where everything we do as people, I think our dogs are going to be very much a part of what we do, like literally, physically.
Well, I tend to agree with you, and I hate to say the word CAT, but it's also changing for cats because there's this whole movement with adventure cats and cats going on hikes, being in harnesses and all this other, and people are not, they're like, what's the cat doing on a hiking? So I think you're right. In the dog world and the cat space, I think us humans are finally realizing how doggone lucky we are to have them in our lives.
I will give you an example. I was away a few weeks ago for 4th of July or 10 days ago. And we were at the beach and I had our dog, Eddie and Theo. So Theo's our 3-year-old golden retriever. And I was no different than probably dozens and dozens of people who would take their dogs off leash down the beach road and dogs would interact and run around. It was such a reminder that yes, they should be on leash at times, but like they can behave very, very, very well off leash. It's, they're the ability for them to get their open spaces and run and do the things that they need to be healthier animals was just such a great reminder. I mean, they weren't on leash for 7 days. We'd go on a couple walks every day and they would meet new pals along the walk. And it was just such a reminder that things are changing and people want things to change. I think going back to our Get Joy Dog Zone, I think vying for appropriate spaces and communities, for dogs, I think is just starting. I think communities are going to think more and more about, do they have a big enough, dynamic enough dog park, dog designated for people that live in these towns to be with their dogs. And I think I know my town, it's really not a great space. They deserve to have like tons of space.
Well, I agree. So everyone, we're speaking with Tom Arrix. He is the founder, the CEO of Get Joy. I want you to please, after the show, go to getjoyfood.com. And maybe we will all be envious and want to come back like a Cooper or an Eddie or a Theo, if your pet parent happens to be a guy named Tom. Tom, I really appreciate you being on the show, and I applaud your mission.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be on the show. I love everything you're doing and the millions and millions of pet parents out there today, and how so many are embracing their dog's health and wellness journey. I think it's just beginning, and I can't wait to see how it evolves. Thank you so much.
Hey, everybody. At this time, I also want to give a shout out to my producer, Mark Winter. He is the executive producer of Pet Life Radio, the longest pet radio network on the planet. And humbly, our show, Oh Behave, is the longest running weekly podcast for pets. We've been on the air since 2007. Check me out, ardenmoore.com. Hope you'll be my YouTube pal on my YouTube channel, Arden Moore. And until next time, this is your flea-free host, Arden Moore, delivering just 2 words to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. Oh, behave.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. All Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.